They said we couldn't do it. Said it was impossible for us to cover an event that occurred at 3 p.m. in the afternoon and put it in a video that goes out the same day. Well, guess what? We did it, apparently. There were logistical issues. That specific event was Sony's State of Play, not to be confused with Sonic Central, an event which conveniently started at 9 in the morning.
Love you, Sonic.
No, we had to wait for our PlayStation news, but it was worth it for the announcement of Ghost of Tsushima's sequel, Ghost of Yotei. Yotei is set 400 years after the events of the last game and may or may not have a wolf companion. Please have a wolf companion.
Oh, do you have a wolf? I'm on a wolf pack.
But that was just the closer. Sony had more things to say when they weren't bragging about new console colors and a Fortnite controller. It could have been a tweet, guys. There were some cool announcements like remasters of the first 2 Legacy of Kain games that would have hit slightly harder if it wasn't leaked hours earlier. Speaking of, they also confirmed Horizon Zero Dawn remastered after that game leaked, but didn't mention if it was enhanced for the PS5 Pro. They just said PS5 and PC. What are we doing here? It came out in 2017.
2020 on PC.
In bigger news, Monster Hunter Wilds got a release date, February 28th, 2025. There was a Nier Automata collaboration announced for Stellar Blade coming later this year, of course, while a new photo mode update will let you choose the best pose, outfit, and expression for your next afternoon goon. We got a look at Alan Wake 2's spooky Lake House DLC. Palworld is finally coming to PS5, and get this, there are games for the PSVR 2. Metro Awakening's release was revealed as November 7th, and Sony announced Hitman World of Assassination. I don't like that name. Assassination is too specific to be a world. Spoiler alert, everyone dies. There was also a new original game, imagine that, called The Midnight Walk. That'll be playable on PSVR 2 and PS5. It's a creepy stop motion style game that sort of looks like if you crossed Coraline with a bad acid trip. Careful watching the trailer, it will ruin your goon.
It's a real goon ruiner.
God of War Ragnarok, known in some places as Angry Dad Punching Simulator 2, finally came out on PC and was immediately review bombed because the single player game requires a PlayStation Network account to play. Now, we've known about the requirement since the port's PlayStation blog announcement in May, when Sony kindly put the caveat at the very bottom of the post. Fortunately for Sony, the Steam reviews for the title are now sitting at mostly positive, but I imagine that may have something to do with a new mod that completely removes the need for a PSN account. It's called No PS SDK, or, since it's all one word, NoPSDK. Unfortunately, the mod doesn't prevent the game from being region locked out of countries where PlayStation Network is not available. Even more unfortunately, PSN isn't available in most countries. What, really?
Yep.
Sorry to the Bahamas, Jamaica, Philippines, and 118 more countries. I won't name the rest of the countries for time reasons, but I could, because I know all of them. All the community comments about this are wrong. Riley doesn't know any countries.
I asked Riley to name one country at LTX 2023, couldn't even name one.
We now know why the entire staff of Annapurna Interactive, the gaming division of Annapurna Pictures, resigned, thanks to a report by Rebecca Valentine of IGN. It allegedly started at the beginning of 2024 when Annapurna Pictures owner, Megan Ellison, fired Interactive co-founder James Massey. The publisher's president, Nathan Gary, also left around this time, allegedly of his own volition, but employees were told both leaders were fired, causing some staff to leave in protest. Ellison was apparently able to convince Gary and the staff to come back and started discussions of spinning off Annapurna Interactive as its own company called Verset. Gary and other employees were excited about this, but unfortunately, there were some disagreements in direction. Ellison and Annapurna Pictures saw Verset as just the indie arm and made that previously reported funding deal for Control 2 with Remedy without informing anyone at Annapurna Interactive, you know, the gaming division. This and other decisions led the whole staff to give 2 weeks notice at the end of August. Annapurna told IGN they still somehow plan to release their first in-house developed game, Blade Runner 2033 Labyrinth, at some point. They're hiring, if you've ever wanted to work in a ghost town.
Or like be in a building that just had a bomb go off.
Or you can work on repairing your devices thanks to our sponsor, iFixit. New iPhones are here, but before you start salivating over the latest tech, remember that your current device is still a gem in its own right. Sprucing up your old buddy isn't just a smart move, it's sustainable too. And guess what? iFixit can be your fairy godmother with their helpful guides to give your iPhone some much needed love. Here's the cherry on top though, you can snag 20% off iFixit iPhone screen and battery replacement parts right now. Check them out at the link below. I can never get enough Quick Bits, just like I can never get enough of those little finger sandwiches at fancy picnics. I love those things.
Invite me to picnics!
GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 online services are allegedly suffering outages caused by DDoS attacks that, according to GTA fan Moores Mutual, are in retaliation of Rockstar adding BattlEye anti-cheat to GTA 5. The software both made it harder to cheat in the game and made the game's online mode unplayable for Linux users. That means Rockstar's servers are at the mercy of either angry cheaters or Linux enthusiasts, and I don't know which scares me more. Leaked gameplay for Assassin's Creed Shadows shows a sim-like base building mechanic that allows you to place buildings, paths, and decorations. The hideout, as it's called, is a full acre of land where you can build and place an armory, a dojo, an altar, and even more buildings that you can customize with roofs and different interiors. They've got roofs. I'm guessing some of these will be unlocked through gameplay, which means that you'll be killing a lot of people simply to perfect your hideout's vibe.
Imagine dying for the drip.
You'll have to live with that.
Well, about that.
Damn, this place looks great though. 88-year-old Shirley Curry, known to the internet as the Skyrim Grandma and to the CIA as El Tigre, has decided to retire as a Let's Player after 9 years. Curry apparently has an upcoming eye surgery that would have benched her for a few weeks, but she has taken the opportunity to move on from gaming for an audience entirely, simply because it isn't fun anymore and she's bored with it, okay? Instead, she'll be working on a quilt, doing some reading, and might even write a book. All that classic old lady shit. And might post the occasional vlog updating fans on her progress, or perhaps a video of her reading one of Skyrim's many actual in-game books. There must be someone who just plays the game just to read all the books.
Where are my jart heads at?
A modder has added real-time combat to the turn-based Baldur's Gate 3, delighting gamers like me who took like an hour to get through combat encounters because I have severe decision paralysis. It's a status effect, I don't know how to remove it.
It's called getting good.
Earlier Baldur's Gate games actually used real-time combat, but they also had a pause button so you could have a second to plan your moves. The Baldur's Gate 3 mod is an early version that doesn't have that pause button yet, so installing the mod at this point is kind of like asking to kiss Karlach before insulating her infernal engine.
Worth it.
Things are gonna get toasty. And listen up, gamers, because John Bull wants you. John Bull being the British equivalent of Uncle Sam, according to Wikipedia. And now you know. Yesterday, British Defense Secretary John Healey gave a speech asking coders and console warriors to consider enlisting, saying,
I'm setting up a new direct route for cyber military recruits. Because if you're a top gamer or a coder, your country needs you.
As armies rely more and more on technology, they have turned to nerds to fill their ranks. However, those nerds need certain accommodations. Thus, the Army is retiring old rules that barred applicants with conditions like eczema, hay fever, and acne.
They're also giving them shelf space for their Hatsune Miku figures.
Because the nation's pimpliest warriors can probably hang on to their inhaler while they're flying drones. Meanwhile, you should be flying back here on Thursday for more gaming news. Don't shoot!